What's up guys, BARRYGAMING here, back with some more Infinite Magicraid for February 22nd, 2023. We have, of course, Nicholas coming to the Rate Up specific hero event coming, which is pretty good. We have a ton of reworks, coming our way as well. And to line up perfectly with that, I gotta share this with you guys. If you guys haven't done it already, go down in the description, follow the Aptoide links. You gotta do it. I think it's tomorrow, the 23rd. So today's the 22nd. Tomorrow on February 23rd, ending on the 24th, you can get a bonus 10% off, meaning you can get like 30 to 40% off all in-game packages. So if you're going for that Nicholas and you're not going it for the trio match event, which I think even the trio match event, I think it might be going on one more day as well. I think, let me double check. Yeah, we have 1 day, 14 hours. So once this is valid, you can get the Nicholas from the trio match event. So again, wait till you get these extra bonuses coming in February 23rd to 24th on Aptoide. You can basically be saving up to like 30 to 40% off all packages and games, and you're getting those bonus coins back as well. So let's jump right into it. Let's talk about it. If you haven't done it though, follow that Aptoide link and let's get going. So first off, let's talk about the patch notes coming up. Now, we have this launching tomorrow, which is awesome. The specified hero type up rate event will be limited from the 24th to the 26th. So you'll get like 1 day with the Aptoide codes and everything, all the special discounts. It's going to be absolutely amazing. But this one's special because we have both Nicholas and Rudolph making a return. They said, yeah, Nicholas is just too much of like an important hero, especially getting him to like E3 in the game. So we're going to give you guys an option to get him outside of Christmas, because waiting until next Christmas would be absolutely bonkers nuts. The other thing is Nidrold is here, and Nidrold is pretty cool. There's I mean, I'm in it. No, he doesn't have a beard. With the red, I don't know. Slackdew and a couple other Holder, Lester, really good early game free to play heroes. Not too bad. And it says the Gift of Heaven event is available for a limited time from the 28th to the 2nd. So after this finishes, the goal of this session is a Legend Phantom Dragon Eye. So that would be really nice. And there are going to be some regressions that are up for grabs based on these heroes here. So it says Fritz, Taru, Amalek, Elbek, Anna, Ilat, and Olga will all be having a free regression because all seven of these heroes are getting some reworks, which is pretty spicy. Now, let's jump into the game so we can look at what they were and see what the changes are. But they also said the hero for the next session's hero quest will also be Anna. Let's jump into the game right now. So the first hero getting buffs this week is going to be Anna. Now, there's been a few things that have been changed. Her basic attack is basically getting a higher percent chance, all the way up to 100% chance to inflict a burn, which is a little thing, but it is still very nice. Her fire strike is getting a boost as well. This one is also going to be going up to a 100% chance. But again, this is a burn hero, not an HP burn hero. So we'll see how this turns out. After that, Ascending Flame is going to be getting a higher percentage boost here. The burn damage boost is now going to go from 3% up to 5%. So that is pretty awesome. And then a couple of, actually all of her exclusives are getting tweaks here as well. So the level 1 here that says will attack all enemies now. This one says added. Oh, so just straight up added after Fire Strike is cast, increases all allies attack by 40%. That's actually pretty solid, giving an attack boost to your allies. Level 2 increases dot damage dealt by all allies by 20% when Anna survives. They're changing this one completely. Instead, it's going to say increases the effect of Fire Wave by 100%, which will not be removed when waves transition. Meanwhile, increases the burn damage dealt by all allies by 30% when Anna survives. So it's just buffing it even more. And then lastly, on the Phoenix Dance here, previously it inflicts 1 layer of burn on an enemy target without burn for 2 turns and deals 100% more attack damage. For the detonation damage, it's going to say new increases the detonated damage dealt by Phoenix Dance by 120%, after which there is a 100% chance to inflict 1 layer of burn on all enemies for 2 turns. So far, she seems pretty solid. Next up is kind of one of the heroes I really like the aesthetics of. I'm a glutton for like the light heroes in any game, and she has a bow and arrow and stuff. I really like it. She's getting a lot of changes as well. So her basic attack essentially it's just going to be a slight damage buff. It's, instead of going up to a max of 300% attack damage, it's going to go up to 360%. Her passive is getting a buff as well here. The passive is going to be giving this essentially a 100% chance to pursue. Ooh, that's pretty good. I like that. I really like that. Olga takes 25% less direct damage. And then this part, Olga has a 100% chance when this is maxed out to pursue. That's really big. Guaranteed. That's awesome. And then lastly, her big active skill, instead of capping at 145% damage, it's going to cap at 180% damage. That's a big buff. That's really significant. That could be very strong. And then they're also modifying her level 2 to do more damage. It's going to be Olga deals 35% more direct damage to Eternal Sect, Doom Legion, and they're adding the Forgotten into there. And this takes 25% less damage. So that one's pretty cool. I kind of like that one as well. The next one's going to be Elbeck. I love Elbeck. Where are you, Elbeck? I'm just going to scroll on over till I find you real quick. I love this hero. So any buffs will be awesome. I don't get to use him as much as I wish I could, but hopefully after these changes, he'll be even stronger. So his basic attack is going to get a change here. Instead of dealing up to 18% of his max HP in a single enemy, it's now going to go up to 26%. So a little bit of a damage buff. Utility is not changing. Soul Guard here is now going to go from 25% to 35% of Elbeck's max HP, so that is going to be a very strong shield right there as well. Looks like his main active is getting a buff as well. Instead of capping out at 45% of his max HP, is going to cap out at 54% of his max HP. So again, all these are straight up buffs. And lastly for him, his exclusive level 3 is going to get a change. Elbeck gains Death Domain for 3 turns. Interesting. After casting Soul Outburst, during which the lair of Desert Soul obtained by casting Soul Drain doubles. Actually, no, it's going to triple now. So it's going to go from double to triple. These seem like pretty good changes. I like this so far. Maybe my Elbeck will be more useful. The big old tree guy, Taru, is getting a buff as well. This is going to be interesting. It's some damage buffs here. His basic attack is going to go now up to 24% of his max HP instead of 12. With a 35% chance to inflict Twine instead of a 30%. So slight buffs there, not very huge. The shield here is going to be going to lower the cooldown from 654 to 534. So this is going down a full skill level. Might help out, especially if you have the exclusive, giving a shield, all that fun stuff. Seems pretty good. His passive is getting a change. So his passive, his heal is going to be buffed up to 3%. It just kind of makes it more in line. It's not actually a big buff. It's a buff for earlier levels, but like the same when it's maxed out, which is weird. And Taru grants all allies a shield equal to 22% of his max HP instead of 5%. That is gigantic. They're also adding something saying the repeatedly obtaining shield granted by this effect will reset the shield value and its duration. Okay, yeah, so it's like that's really good. Wow. You could just get ridiculous amounts of shields, but it's gonna cap. Before you could get 5%, 5%, 5%, 5%. Now it's just gonna be straight up 22%. If another stun or entwine happens, then it just maxes at 22% again, which is kind of cool. I like that for like a PvP team. That could be really awesome. And then the active Anger of Forest. This right here is going to up the chance from 70% to 80%. And then this 16% is going up to 30% as well. So straight up buffs. And then let's go back over to the first one here. The exclusive level 1 is giving additionally grants Taru's, or no, it's not going to give him the shielding Consolidation is going to give all allies, and it's going to up it to 20%, so that is really, really cool. The level 2 exclusive is getting a rework. It's now going to say restores all allies HP by 3% of Taru's max HP when an enemy is inflicted with twine, and that is really, really cool. The next hero is one of my favorites too. I haven't been able to actually build her, but Ilat seems cool. Seems like an awesome supporter with some shielding and stuff. And damage reflect, really cool ability. Let's see what she's getting changed to. So her basic attack is completely changing. She's actually going to start doing damage based on her max HP instead of defensive damage. And I think that's a good change. I think all these heroes that have defensive damage skills should be max HP skills, which is really awesome. So she'll be able to deal up to 8% of her max HP, which is pretty cool. Sanctuary Shield is getting a buff. It's instead going to increase all allies max HP cap by 50% instead of defense. That is awesome. 50% additional HP is amazing. I really want to build this hero now. I really do. Her passive is going to be changing as well. She additionally gains 52% damage reflect, up from 44%, which is awesome. And then lastly, her Furious Smash here is going to be changing away from defense damage up to 42% of her max HP. Now, some of her exclusives are going to be changing as well. This shield is going to be buffed up to 30%, which is pretty cool. The level 2 is going to now be a 50% chance to counterattack when taking direct damage. Can be stacked with the buff counterattack. So she can counterattack with her skill and then counterattack with Catherine's counterattack skill. That could be pretty awesome. And then lastly, exclusive level 3 is also getting a buff. It says increases the damage by 60 to 120% based on the target's lost HP. Directly if the target's HP is below 25% after dealing damage. So that seems pretty cool. I really want to build this hero eventually. So the second to last hero getting big buffs is going to be Fritz. He's like the abomination of the game, but he's going to get some changes here. Basically here he's going to go from 110% defense damage up to 120%, little tiny buff. And then there is a up to 40% instead of 30% chance to inflict provoke. That is interesting. It's kind of good. Not a huge buff, but we'll see. The active skill is getting a buff too. Actually, wait, this is a nerf. So this is going to go only to a max of 120% defensive damage with a buffed 70% chance to reduce the attack by 40% for 2 turns, and then they're adding a 70% chance to reduce their crit damage by 60%. So less damage to all enemies, but you're now also lowering their crit damage by 60%. So that is a good buff right there for a tanky hero. Passive skill, complete rework. It says reduces all damage received by 60%. Meanwhile, each time Fritz takes direct damage, restores self HP by 4% of max HP and grants 1 layer of overwhelming anger, each of which increases all damage received or lowers all damage received by 10% up to 15 layers. Besides, removes 4 layers of overwhelming anger at the beginning of each turn. It's interesting. Each of which increases all damage. Oh, no. It increases all damage received by 10%. So you start with 60% damage reduction, but you can go all the way to like 90% extra damage taken. That's interesting. And then lastly, where is it here? Okay, here. They're changing the name. It sounds like to Fury. Inflicts taunt on self for 2 turns. Restores all allies by 18% of max HP and grants them a shield equal to 15% of his max HP. So less shield, but also heals, which is interesting. Hammer of Rampage exclusive level 1 is changing to reduces all enemies turn meter by 15%. Or reduces all enemies' turn meter by 25% when successfully lowering their attack. That's actually pretty good. The passive, again, complete rework. At the beginning of each turn, removes all layers of overwhelming anger. each of which increases self all damage received by 7% now instead of 10, which is interesting. And again, rework here on this last one. Fury removes all debuffs from self and grants self res debuff for 2 turns before restoring HP. Besides, the value of the shield granted by Fury now increases to 30% of his max HP. Good lord, there's so much to these heroes. There's a lot of stuff, but we have one more hero to talk about. Last but certainly not least is Amalek. So he's going to be getting some buffs, not as many as some others, but his active skill, Smite, will be getting a buff from 140% damage up to 220%, and then a single enemy and reduces turn meter by 20%. It went up to 50 previously. Now it's going to go up to 75%, which is pretty awesome. His passive is getting a added text, so after everything else it says Amalek is guaranteed to launch a crit on targets that are frozen, which is pretty cool. And then clean sweep the active here. It's going from 100% attack damage to all enemies to 200%, doubling the damage, which is crazy. And then his level 3 exclusive is going to be modified. It's going to deal 140% attack damage or 280 if the target is frozen. So that is another big buff right there, especially for a freeze style team. So let me know what you guys think. Again, make sure you guys go to the first link in the description, Aptoide. Download it, get your app coins, get everything set up. You can save up to like 40% on the 23rd and 24th of the month here in February, especially if you're going to go for that Nicholas copy. So hopefully you guys enjoy this one. Hit that subscribe button. I'll see you guys next time.